This doesn't make sense. You know it doesn't make sense.
Muriel Bowser questioning the presence of the National Guard in the city today. Good to be with you. I'm Simone D'Alba. It's been a week since President Donald Trump announced he would send federal agents and the National Guard to fight crime in D.C. The White House says since the start of their crime operation on Thursday, they've made more than 380 arrests. Today, Mayor Muriel Bowser responded to the announcement that the number of troops in D.C. will more than double, with soldiers coming from Mississippi, Ohio, West Virginia, and our Rafael Sanchez Cruz is with us. Rafa, the mayor just did not hold back. We heard her speaking earlier.
She did not, Simone. Mayor Muriel Bowser says she supports combating violent crime, but she also made it clear that she thinks what's playing out in D.C. streets is not about crime, and it doesn't make sense.
You know the facts on the ground don't support this. You know that.
Mayor Muriel Bowser responding to the announcement that an estimated 1,700 National Guard troops will be stationed in D.C.
You know it doesn't make sense. The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C. The question is really not for us. It's for why the military would be deployed in an American city to police Americans.
President Donald Trump took to Truth Social, posting in part, until 4 days ago, Washington, D.C. was the most unsafe city in the United States and perhaps the world. Now, in just a short period of time, it is perhaps the safest and getting better every single hour.
The focus should be on violent crime.
The White House says 160 undocumented immigrants have been arrested so far in the district. Videos of immigration arrests are spreading quickly on social media.
If this is really about immigration enforcement, I think the administration should make that plain.
Last week, an attorney for the Trump administration suggested that the federal government wants D.C. police to fully cooperate in their immigration enforcement. D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith's recent executive order only allowed for limited cooperation.
For people who are anxious and afraid, I'm sorry that this is happening.
Mayor Bowser says she's asked Chief Smith to address a growing concern with federal officials.
You're in an unmarked car right now.
The number of agents who are not identifying themselves and have their faces covered.
There's no reason for a law enforcement official to be masked.
And we're just 1 week away from the first day of school at D.C. public schools. I'm hearing from parent groups who are organizing already to help immigrant families get safely to and from school amid this immigration crackdown. We saw how neighborhoods rallied together back in May over reports that ICE would be targeting some schools here in D.C. Simone.
Look, we know back to school is stressful enough, and now kids are going to be navigating around, soldiers and the Guard as well. Rafa, thank you. In D.C., residents and visitors are still trying to adjust to life under the National Guard. Video and pictures have been popping up all over social media of soldiers being spotted at tourist sites and at metro stations. And more National Guard troops are coming from different states as governors deploy their own Guard members at the request of President Trump. Our Lionel Donovan is at Union Station now, one of the places where the National Guard have been stationed. Lionel, what have you been seeing today?
Good afternoon, Simone. Well, let me give you an idea of what we got going on here at Union Station right now. You can see soldiers are still here set up standing guard right in front of the entrance. Right now, it looks like they are unarmed, but some are worried that this could change after a White House official said over the weekend that National Guard members deployed to D.C., quote, may be armed. Now, I did get a chance to speak with one Guard member off camera, and he told me that he and his fellow soldiers have been here since the National Guard was first deployed, and he hasn't heard anything about additional members coming in. Meanwhile, visitors to D.C. said they weren't expecting to see soldiers as soon as they walked out of Union Station today. And folks who have lived here say the site still takes some getting used to. And as you were saying earlier, the president says the soldiers are here to help bring down crime in the district, despite official data from the FBI and D.C. that says violent crime is down from last year. Although the Army initially said the Guard's weapons would be held in the armory unless they were needed, on Sunday, Army Senior Master Sergeant Craig Clapper told NPR that, quote, Guard members may be armed consistent with their mission and training. However, as I've said earlier, we have not seen any armed Guard members as we were going around D.C. today. And so far, 4 Republican-led states have also deployed hundreds of their own National Guard to D.C. to support President Trump's crackdown. And folks I've talked to today say they're nervous about how this could impact the city.
And the last time I saw the National Guard in D.C. was September 11th. So it's surprising.
Yesterday they were talking about getting another National Guard in. From like
I heard about that. I heard about
How
that.
you feel about that? They're coming from different states.
I'm a little nervous about that. I have no control, so the safest thing that I'm doing is just staying home, staying in the house, staying out the way.
Now, today, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser did reiterate that National Guard soldiers won't be making arrests or doing police work. However, over the past couple of days, D.C. residents have been pushing back against the National Guard being in D.C. And I'll have more on that at 5. But for now, we're live at the Union Station. Lionel Donovan, WUSA 9.
All right, Lionel, certainly appreciate your reporting on this for us tonight. Thank you. Meanwhile, the White House says its federal law enforcement crackdown in Washington is making the district safer. Today, the administration put out new arrest data from the weekend. And amid all of those patrols, WUSA 9 chief investigative reporter Eric Flack spent the night on D.C. streets into the early morning hours to show us how this is all working. And Flack, I understand that you saw FBI agents assisting in at least one of those weekend arrests.
Yeah, we watched it happen right in front of our eyes and our cameras. Multiple federal agencies were backing up MPD during that arrest as FBI agents shielded their faces from our cameras. Today, Mayor Bowser said the arrest numbers are not surprising.
It was just after 1 a.m. Saturday morning when we first spotted something you didn't used to see in the district. FBI agents backing up D.C. police during a routine traffic stop along the U Street corridor. The FBI agents cleared the scene moments after we arrived, letting that driver go. But minutes later and blocks away, the FBI was in action with MPD once again, this time joined by officers from the State Department. Our cameras rolling as one person was taken into custody. And all over the weekend, the White House says these multi-agency teams made 120 total arrests, dozens for being undocumented. Other arrests included assault, weapons charges, and armed robbery. The White House telling us officers also took 18 illegal guns off the street. Attorney General Pam Bondi posting to X Monday morning, Washington, D.C. is getting safer every night thanks to our law enforcement partners. At a ribbon-cutting Monday, Mayor Bowser not surprised by the numbers.
Anytime you have a surge of officers, I would expect that you have some results.
During our night on the streets, we witnessed that surge from northwest to southeast.
It's just about 2 a.m. out here at the Anacostia Metro Station in Southeast, and Metro Transit police tell me it is not uncommon for them to have a strong presence out here on a Friday night like tonight. What is different is that tonight they have backup from Homeland Security officers.
Many of the people we spoke with welcomed the federal presence.
Our neighborhood has been the target of a lot of crime. Like, we know a lot of people who have, personally undergone violent carjackings, muggings.
I enjoy having extra security. I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
Some worry all of this goes too far.
I think that there's a lot of better ways that money can be used to not only uplift and empower the community, but to sow a seed into the people that need the help.
And all the Trump administration said more than 1,800 federal personnel joined D.C. police each night this weekend, with 22 multi-agency teams deployed across all 7 districts, which now includes the National Guard. The Trump administration says, Simone, those operations will continue indefinitely.
I wanted to ask you about this because we've been seeing, amid the crackdown, the administration has been getting some criticism regarding some of those federal agents making arrests while wearing masks.
Yeah, the masks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's something that we noticed at all of our stops. In fact, that first stop you may have noticed in our piece where that driver actually was allowed to leave. When we arrived on the scene, the federal agents, those FBI agents, did not have masks up. When we showed up with our cameras, they pulled their masks up. This controversy dates back to the ICE raids that have been going on for some time under President Trump and the ICE agents, which have been using masks, especially around cameras when the media is out covering them, and often in communities as well. The agents, the Homeland Security, say it is for security purposes to protect the agents against any sort of pushback for what they're doing.
Interesting that you observed that as well. The mayor saying there's no reason for law enforcement to be masked and asking Chief Pamela Smith to look into that further. Eric Flack, great reporting for us tonight. Thank you.
All right.
All right, other news we're following right now, a large rally demanding the National Guard leave D.C. just wrapped up moments ago. Our Kelly Vaughn is live with reaction to more troops in D.C. Kelly, what are you seeing out there?
Well, more than 200 people gathered here today. They just wrapped up about 10 minutes ago, and they say they met to demand the withdrawal of federal forces in D.C. They say their main concern right now is that things are escalating. They say these federal officers now may be armed, they may be unidentified, and they say they believe they are targeting the most vulnerable in our community, including the homeless and immigrants. They say that they believe this federal takeover isn't about safety. They think it's about control. Take a listen.
There is no legitimate reason for this escalation. It is making our communities more dangerous every hour.
Activists from across D.C. spoke here today. They had several calls to action. They first asked people from Ohio, South Carolina, and West Virginia to demand the withdrawal of their National Guard members from D.C. They also told local business owners to consider if what's going on constitutes an emergency, like what a weather emergency would be, and to ask if they should consider keeping their employees home amid these crackdowns on immigration. Now, they're also asking people to bang pots and pans every night from 8 to 8:05. They say it's an important way to show solidarity just through sound. But their main message was that these actions are targeting our most vulnerable and the people that are able to speak out should. They say that they plan to continue to protest because they do not believe what's going on is going to stop here in D.C. We're now reporting live from 14th and U Street, Kelly Vaughn.
You know, we saw at the Trump Must Go rally this weekend, Kelly, you were there, and a lot of the protesters behind you were there as well. They had pots, they had pans, and look, they want their voices heard. Appreciate you bringing us to this rally today, giving us that perspective. Thank you.